Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning, or wherever this is going to find you on this very special, magical holiday. Woo! I will give you 1,000,000 points to put in your this morning points bank if you can tell me the title and the artist of that song. Now, if you're from Boston, you obviously know it, but anywhere around the world, that is the song that you're waking up with. On St. Patrick's Day Tuesday here in Cincinnati, it is freezing. It's like not even 30 degrees outside. Woof. But God, I mean, that is just such a jam on a day like today. We are going to talk about whether or not Guinness is actually good for you. Like, is it healthy for you? Or was that a marketing campaign? Because there might be a few surprising facts. And then speaking of facts, we're going to chit-chat maybe 5 or so unknown facts about St. Patrick's Day that you might be able to use in trivia later or amongst your friends if you do in fact celebrate. But man, I mean, not to reminisce on the good old days, but something about this just lives and courses through my veins. Like, I love it. Ooh. Every Boston Championship parade, every St. Patrick's Day, every opening day, I mean, it just courses through me. God, it does something to me. And speaking of opening day, my Boston Red Sox are coming to play my Cincinnati Reds here in like 8 or 9 days. I'm so excited. That was the Dropkick Murphys, by the way. I'm shipping up to Boston. So before we get to the Guinness facts, of course, I want to check in on you on this St. Patrick's Day, seeing how you're doing, seeing if there are any funny, silly moments you want to reminisce on from St. Paddy's Day and college or beyond. One of my favorite memories is during my post-grad life. I actually could have been a senior in college. I can't quite remember. St. Patrick's Day in Boston, which is where I'm originally from, if you didn't know that, is such a big holiday. So big. I'm sure the parade was celebrated on Saturday, just kind of like it was here in Cincy, but there are still people out there today celebrating. And St. Patrick's Day is a weird one. Sometimes you can get a 60, 70 degree sunny day like we did 1 year ago today. It was gorgeous for St. Paddy's Day 2025. Or you can get what we have right now, which is like 28 degrees with high winds and rain, snow. It depends, but the celebrations continue regardless. The green Jell-O shots are available as needed. So my college roommate, her now husband, used to be the bouncer at the Greatest Bar. Now, we went to the Greatest Bar all the time during college, but a lot in our post-grad life and even in my early days of working in radio. It's 4 floors, and it's right across from the TD Garden, which is where the Boston Bruins and the Celtics play. And we would go all the time. St. Patrick's Day was no different. So I show up with a bunch of my girlfriends, and the line to get into these places is so long. And you know what? It's like that for everywhere in Boston, especially if you're trying to go to the bathroom. It's like Times Square on New Year's Eve trying to go to the bathroom in Boston on St. Patrick's Day. So we get to the Greatest Bar, line is wicked long, and we're like, shoot, what do? We got to figure it out. A little buzz, got to go to the bathroom, maybe a little hungry. Now, the other thing you need to know about Boston is that there are pizza shops everywhere. The difference between Cincinnati and Boston is that mom and pop pizza shops are all over Massachusetts. It's like what you go to. You don't even go to a chain. I think there's Papa Gino's and Domino's, but I don't know who shops there, to be transparent with you. But in Cincinnati, all we have are chains like Donato's and La Rosa's. The pizza in Boston is done significantly better, period. Especially there's Greek-style pizza and Italian-style pizza. And Everyone has, like, any Bostonian listening right now has their pizza shop that they grew up listening. Any person from Massachusetts or New England, not just Boston. The corner of my house in Leicester, Mass was Northeast Pizza, Bill's Pizza, so-and-so's Pizza. The menus are all similar, but they're all a little bit different, right? They're your spot. So next to the Greatest Bar was this walk-up style restaurant window of Italian pizza. And while we're figuring out the bathroom, we're getting pizza, and we say, you know what, hey, you always get a slice. That's the other thing, too, is you can always just get a slice. Say, hey, can we have a slice? Sure. And I said, hey, man, to this older Italian chef, you have a bathroom in here. And he's like, we don't. We actually use the Greatest Bar when we have to go to the bathroom. I said, cool, give me your apron. And he's like, what? And I said, give me your apron. So I put his apron on, the big white apron that goes to the floor, and I walked directly into the Greatest Bar, and I went to the bathroom because that's what the employees of that restaurant do. Genius! I came back, returned the apron to my girlfriend, and we cycled through that 2 or 3 times until everyone had gone to the bathroom. I mean, to this day, it is a core memory in my life and one of the more innovative thinking moments I've ever had. So that stayed with me. And I'm sure you have a memory or two of your own, but God, what a good time. What a good time. There's something about an Irish bagpipe, right? There was bagpipers playing at Sam Adams on Saturday when I was out. It was awesome. All right. Is Guinness really good for you? Well, here's the thing about it. It shows higher traces of B vitamin and soluble fiber than other beers, which are really good for the gut. B folate is a vitamin that our bodies need to make DNA. And there's one other thing in there that helps with osteoporosis. So overall, there are some higher nutrients because of the grain in the grain that they use to brew Guinness. There are some higher like fibers, B vitamins, probiotics, things of that nature. So we'll take it. A slight edge is what this article says that I read on WLWT. And soluble fiber and prebiotics are good for your gut. Because Guinness contains a lot of unmalted barley, which contains more fiber than malted grain, it also is one of the beers with the highest levels of fiber. Woohoo! It is also lower calorie count, and I think this is where Guinness wins. Despite its rich flavor and creamy consistency, it's not the highest in the calorie compartment with other beers. A 12-ounce serving of Guinness has 125 calories, with the same serving size of a Budweiser being 145. Heineken is 142, and Sam Adams Cream Stout is 189. And then I guess if you get Guinness Extra Stout, it has 149 calories. So the reason why some of the calorie count is lower is the Guinness draft alcohol content is also slightly lower. 4.2% alcohol by volume compared with 5% for Budweiser, Heineken, and 4.9% for Sam Adams Cream Stout. So you are getting less alcohol, less calories, a little bit more probiotic, fiber, soluble fiber, B vitamins, and maybe 1 or 2 other things. So technically, a skosh healthier. I also love Guinness because when it's done correctly, the top of it almost tastes like a cold foam. So, like if you get a cold foam on your iced coffee from Starbucks, that's what the head of a Guinness reminds me of. So let me know if you're going to split the G today. I learned about splitting the G when I went to Ireland this summer. My girlfriend Shannon got married out there, and God, what a time. What a time. All right, enough of that. Let's go into some St. Patrick's Day facts that you might not know about, starting with The original color was blue. St. Patrick is traditionally depicted wearing blue robes. Green only became associated with the holiday in the 18th century, tied to the shamrock and Irish independence. There you go. St. Patrick was British, born in Britain to Roman parents around the end of the 4th century. He was kidnapped as a teenager and brought to Ireland as a slave before returning as a missionary. Up until 1970, St. Patrick's Day was a dry holiday because it was religious. All pubs in Ireland were closed on the 17th of March from 1901 on until it became a national holiday in 1970. The first parade, this one always gets me, was in the United States and not Ireland. The very first St. Patrick's Day parade was held in St. Augustine, Florida in 1601. Okay. The pinching tradition. People wear green to be invisible to leprechauns, which, according to folklore, will pinch anyone not wearing the color. Cute. Drowning the shamrock. A tradition exists where a shamrock is put into the final drink of the night, specifically whiskey, and then thrown over the shoulder for luck. I love that. And the world's shortest parade, yet again in the United States, is in Arkansas. It's a 98-foot parade, often cited as the world's shortest. So there you go. Some fun random facts to use today if you find yourself, I don't know, celebrating somewhere in Boston or at Molly Malone's or the Red Leprechaun in Cincinnati. Just know that I am sending you all the good Dropkick Murphys vibes. Yes. All right. We're going to leave it there for now. I hope you have a wonderful day. I'm sending all the good vibes and the good energy your way. I appreciate you stopping by. Thanks for making me a part of your regular routine and inviting me into your life. If any of this felt silly and enjoyable, let's connect at the Tiff 2Fs Potter like the Wizard. If you like the show, send it off to a friend, and I'll see you right back here tomorrow.